Well, hello. This is a piece of paperwork you get with every EXP or LN7 and Escort or Lynx. Or at least you should get this with every one of those cars. But I don't know if it's the same thing they put in all their other cars. And all their other cars, I mean Ford and Mercury. Anyhow, it's an interesting giant piece of paper. I can't remember where they put these. They either put these in the glove compartment or they wrap them around the seat belts or something. Kind of varies car to car. Anyways, it gives you instructions for air conditioning controls. So I'll let you read that. You just hit pause and check it out. It talks about the maintenance. Your vehicle has been designed to operate with minimum amount of maintenance. Even though the maintenance intervals on these cars are quite interesting. The timing belt has to be changed quite frequently, every 40,000 miles or less. But all the liquids supposedly can go on for a long time. But the next part of the paper, you can see it folds here. So this whole top half just folds away. So we'll do that here. Next section is starting instructions. So if your engine is cold, you follow these steps. Kind of common sense, but it is interesting if you don't know this or if you've never heard of it before. Same if your engine is warm or if you have a hard time getting it to start or whatever. And then it goes into some more detailed stuff. That's interesting. It's got safety notes on it. Read the owner's guide. These are interesting. It gives you the directions for key release. Every EXP Escort LN7 and Lynx should have this. It's a little round plunger underneath the steering wheel. Like it says, it's just to the left of center underneath the steering wheel. So you just pull that while you're turning the key. And pull that knob down and your key will come out. Do not force your key out. You will wreck something. Gives you catalytic converter caution. If you have an Escort EXP LN7 or Lynx, any car from the 80s pretty much, or pretty much any car built before 2000 probably has a plugged catalytic converter. Up until the early 2000s, catalytic converters would plug up well before the 150,000 mile mark. So if you have a carbureted car, odds are that sucker's plugged. I recommend emptying it, but that's not legal, so heed the warning. Engine oil levels should be checked at each fuel stop. The CVHs don't ever seem to burn any oil. I only just got an EXP of 1.6 that has some blow by, but that is the only oil issue I have ever come across out of all of the engines I have. And then the final section here is seatbelt instructions. So you get a little thing on all the warning buzzards. The warning light will come on for some amount of time. Warning buzzer comes on whenever you leave the lights on or leave the key in, have a door open. That's the seat belt. If you yank it forward really quick, it'll lock up just like any other car, or at least any Ford for that matter. Here are the instructions for the optional belt tensioner relief. This is something to keep in mind in every EXP and LN7. There is a plunger that goes to the seat belt recoil. I think they call it the recoil. It's the housing that the seat belt rolls back up into. And that plunger connects to the door. So if the door is open, that plunger does something. I presume when the door is open, it keeps the seatbelt locked. And if the door is closed, it keeps the seatbelt unlocked. I'm not sure. Maybe I have that flipped around, but there is some sort of seatbelt locking mechanism in the bottom corner of each of the two driver doors. And then you have these rear seat access, which is quite well, you know, anyone who's ever driven a car should know how these work. But anyways, that's about it. The backside's blank. This is just a little part that folds over that I mentioned already. And it hides just like this. Now it's kind of a two-piece thing. I put the date in here. So this was made in March 8th, 1981. Or 82 model Escort Lynx's EXPs and all that. So it's fairly interesting. I think this is the first one I've seen. I might have one hiding away in with the literature for one of my 82 models, but yeah, just something interesting. You know, again, I don't know if Ford put these in any of their other cars, but I'm sure they did. Maybe it looks different, not sure. But anyhow, that's about it.